WWE should not have NXT wrestlers in the Royal Rumble. Why? Because simply no one knows who the fuck they are. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of NXT or you think for some reason this is good for NXT, gives exposure, whatever, I'm sorry. It's going to give bad exposure. This has been a problem for years, and I don't like that this what WWE has been doing with this. I am not a fan of NXT wrestlers being the Royal Rumble because, again, no one knows who the fuck they are. If you're a casual viewer that is watching the Royal Rumble or an old school wrestling fan that hasn't watched for years watching the Royal Rumble, why would you care to want to fucking see a wrestler who you don't see on Raw and SmackDown, who are from a developmental brand, or should, by logic, for some reason be in the Royal Rumble and getting a shot to wrestle at WrestleMania, when in reality, again, why should they be in the Royal Rumble match when literally a lot of these wrestlers have been in the main roster, worked their asses off, and all of a sudden they get a pass to be in the Rumble, when, as much as I don't give a shit about jobbers, what makes them more credible to be in the Rumble than the jobbers even in WWE? They're already promoted in the main roster. Like, I'm sorry, no NXT wrestler should be in the Rumble. Sadly, it is going to happen. I'm sure it's going to fucking happen, sadly. And I'm not a fan of that. I'd rather see legends in the Rumble, even if you consider washed up old guys. Who gives a fuck? They may be old, but they can still pull it off, and they're better than all these boring ass wrestlers nowadays. I'm not saying that freaking, like, first of all, like, about these fucking old wrestlers. I'm not saying, like, it just. What I'm trying to say is, it's getting sad to the point that we're running out of surprises to do in Royal Rumbles now, where a lot of these legends are kind of sadly getting very old to the point they can't even be in the ring anymore, even if they wanted to make a surprise appearance and just have that little moment, right? And not just that, like, a lot of these wrestlers, unfortunately, we're losing legends that, unfortunately, year by year, we're losing cool legends who are sadly passing away and shit like that, but in the end of the day, man, like, and yeah, we're losing people. Every year the value of enjoying the Royal Rumble will lower because, again, like, really, you're gonna think NXT is a good surprise. NXT is not a good way to introduce wrestlers. A way to introduce a wrestler in WWE in the main roster is, again, promoting them with vignettes. Having vignettes for them, and like how you did old school vignettes, and introduce them on the main roster after months of vignettes or whatever. And then, that way they'll get over with the fans. That way people are like, wow, they've been shooking this guy for weeks with video packages about the character, about the guy. And then people care. A Royal Rumble match is not a way to fucking introduce those wrestlers, especially when it's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. Come on here. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of NXT always needing this dumb bullshit to introduce a wrestler when, again, no one knows who the fuck these wrestlers are. You see, maybe I would know the wrestler, and maybe, yes, smarky wrestling fans would know the wrestlers, but it doesn't mean normal people or casual viewers would know them. Unless, again, like I said, unless you're a person who's in the know about wrestling. You're in the know, and again, if you're a fucking smart who watch all types of wrestling, probably have no fucking life, you will know the wrestlers. But it doesn't mean that everybody will know. The Royal Rumble is one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year for WWE. It should be exclusive to only the fucking people on the main roster, at least, and the legends. That's what it should be. Okay? That's all it should be. Not fucking NXT people when no one knows who the fuck they are! And they're not going to reaction. Sure, they might get a reaction because the Royal Rumble has established to be a pay-per-view where the smarky wrestling fans will go there. So they might get a reaction, but they won't get a reaction on a random Raw. I can tell you that. That's not a good thing, by the way. A random Raw where a person shows up, it's not a good thing. It's not. They may think, like, oh, get it, this guy's already got a reaction to Rumble, because the Royal Rumble has established to be a crowd where if you're a smarky wrestling fan, you will spend the money to try to be there, okay? And yes, the wrestling fans will be there, like people who are in the know. They'll react or whatever. Maybe it'll be a surprise and happy for them. But the thing is, in my honest opinion, unless you're in the main roster and you're gonna be in you should not be debuting the Royal Rumble. You should be debuting at least on a Raw, or just fucking do vignettes for them. That way people can know. Because again, this is gonna make people like, wow, who is this guy? Why is he in the Royal Rumble? Why is he beating up all these established veterans in WWE in the main roster? It makes the people who are the veterans look bad, and it just by logic it's not even that exciting. To me, it's not exciting. I'm not saying I don't like certain wrestlers in NXT, but the thing is, it's the development brand for a reason. It's always been a developmental brand. I hate that WWE's been doing this shit where they have wrestlers from NXT being on the Royal Rumbles. It's just insulting to my intelligence. It's lame. It's just like, why would you, like, it's not even that a surprising, exciting thing to see. Especially, like, it's just not, in my opinion, that's just the truth. Okay? So in my opinion, NXT wrestlers should not be in the main roster. Save those spots for maybe if you can ask a legend to come back. Or, again, as much as I hate jobbers and I don't give a shit, I don't give... the thing is, I'm not a fan of modern wrestling. I'm really not. I'm not a fan of a lot of these wrestlers. I'm not. But you might as well have the wrestlers you have on the main roster already and showcase them a little bit. And then, you know, then just like pull Thunder 9 to Rumble for God knows what reason. Like, come on here. It's just the truth. It really is the truth. You know what I mean, folks? Unfortunately, in my opinion, the Royal Rumble matches are going to be becoming less interesting or less fun as it is back in the days of like when because unfortunately you are losing people interest with a lot of wrestlers not. You're getting to the point where a lot of like cool wrestlers are going away. They're leaving WWE. They're retiring, and a lot of wrestlers nowadays resemble jobberish people. They're not that exciting. So that's just my opinion. You know, a lot of these people in the main roster are not exciting. So yes, WWE should not be using NXT people. Fuck the NXT people. That's what I'm gonna say. Until next time, peace. Yeah, bye. It's not gonna be good for the Rumble, folks.